I made a banana gun! Pew pew! Today I'm making an Orville blaster. For this build, I use wood glue, squadron putty, paint, sanding materials, safety gear, and nothing else. Those are all the Hey, I also used oxygen. Should I add that to the list? First I went dumpster diving until I got scrap wood. Actually didn't take that long. I don't know why anyone pays for lumber. It literally grows on trees, guys. Then I meticulously scanned screen caps of the blaster until I came up with a close approximation that I was happy with. I traced that twice and cut out two identical yet extremely rough pieces, being sure to stay just outside the lines. Oh, always wear eye protection when using power tools. Or just in general, you know, it's good advice. I'm actually using chemistry goggles here because when I wear safety goggles, somehow debris always finds a way around the safety glasses and into my eyes anyway. Got these prescription safety glasses, can't wear them, gonna get splinters in my eye. Also, you wanna periodically vacuum up the dust because it's a safety hazard, according to IATSE. That is true though, it'll build up on the floor, you can slip on it. Suddenly lawyers are involved, it's a whole thing. I was doing carpentry on a film and one of the day laborers got let go because he wasn't sweeping up the sawdust, felt it was beneath him. Well, technically it was. I sanded these two halves a little bit before gluing them together because there are certain angles that are just way easier to reach beforehand. For instance, it's got this open maw in the front, and if you were to drill into that after the fact, it would take forever and you might end up splitting the wood apart, which would be just the worst. But even just sanding away this extremely rough trench with my rotary tool will make smoothing it out later so much easier. You have no idea. It's almost like I've done this before and lost the footage in a computer failure. So I'm redoing the first part of the build, which is why the color of the cutting mat is going to change in a minute. Imagine that. But yeah, so much easier because of my Dremel. Oh, Dremel, please sponsor me. Of course, a lathe would be a bit faster. Does Dremel make a lathe? Insert tool company who makes lathes, please sponsor me. Once I'd carved out a reasonable cavity, I glued the two halves together with wood glue. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yep, great, super, fantastic. Did anybody not see that coming? Okay, so after that whole debacle, I held those together with clamps for a few days just to be sure that the glue had fully dried. Wasn't exactly in a hurry. Then I sanded the hell out of it for days and days and days until I got this. Yeah, a bit of a time jump there. It's just me sanding, guys. It was several days of trial and error, and it's just incredibly boring footage. So just sand it until it looks right. Then I filled in the divots with squadron putty. It doesn't have to be green, that's just the color I happen to have. Then I sanded the putty to match the relief of the rest of the surface and painted it with gray primer. And I thought that was the final prelude to painting it for real, but flattening out the whole thing in terms of color just revealed more problem areas. So, more filling and sanding. Filling and sanding. Forever and ever filling and sanding. 1,000 days filling and sanding. 9 more seasons filling and sanding. After overthrowing the Harkonians and securing the spice melange, I gave the blaster a coat of gloss gray. Then I clayed it up and molded it. This is why you might choose to make a prop out of wood instead of EVA foam like I normally do, because it makes for a better master if you're going to mold it. Smooth on Umu 30 takes about 6 hours to cure, so I'll come back to that after these brief messages. So because this is a weapon, the video's probably going to get demonetized. Even though it's a banana gun. So if you could part with $1 or $2 each month, it would actually go a long way towards keeping these videos coming. Phrasing, wrong show. Hey, does anyone want me to make archer props? Alright, let's demold us a space gun! Okay, so initially I hit this with universal mold release, and that was a mistake. That product is meant to remove a prop from a mold. It's not so great for creating a barrier between two halves of a mold. So after consulting the Durans over at Punished Props, should totally check them out. I redid the mold using Ease Release 200 as a 2-part mold barrier, and that worked perfectly. Side note, if you do mess up the mold, you can just cut up the old one to use as filler material to take up the empty volume in the next mold. That's a technique I learned about from Odin Abbott over at Odin Makes. After I demolded the blaster and cleaned it off, I painted the handle and the little LED screen with gloss black. When that dried, I painted it with automotive chrome silver. That's how you make a banana gun! Because I made a mold of it, I can make duplicates out of resin or foam for flexible stunt version. Because you don't want actors running around with something they can break. What am I talking about? They'll find a a way. Actors, find a way. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm selling resin casts of these in my Etsy store, link below. If you enjoyed this video, then you can like it, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified when I make more videos. You know, all the things that YouTubers say that I've said a million times. I try to make prop and costume tutorials as often as I can, with a hit or miss sense of humor. So if that's your thing, then this might be the channel for you. Jake out!